Good evening, everybody, and you're welcome to Páirc Sean McDermott for the draw for round two of the Connacht Gold Senior Football Championship. Last week we had round one for both senior and intermediate, Smith Monumentals intermediate, but as the Smith Monumentals round two or round one is not complete, we're just progressing with round two of the Connacht Gold Senior Football Championship. I'm joined here by members of the CCC, Vincent O'Rourke, Secretary, John Keenan and Anne McGee, who will conduct the draw. Vincent will supervise it. So just to, I suppose, give you a brief rundown on what happens in round two. The teams that were at home will be away this week in round two and vice versa. So we will draw out each of the four home teams, which will come from Leitrim Gales, Ballinamoor, Ohwillan or St Mary's Kiltarragh. They'll be drawn out in order and placed into the game holders, if you like. So the first team out will be placed in game number one and so on. So there's just four games to draw. So we will do that first, and then when we have that done, then we will draw the away teams, and we'll be slowing it down at that point very, very slowly to make sure that we don't have any repeat pairings. So we're ready to draw the first home team. So Anne will draw the ball out, and she'll call it out for us there. Ohwillan. And team number two.
Leitrim Gales.
Leitrim Gales. Third team.
St Mary's.
St Mary's Kiltarragh. And finally,
Ballinamoor Sean Hastings.
Ballinamoor Sean Hastings. So just to recap on that, the four home teams are Ohwillan, Leitrim Gales, St Mary's Kiltarragh, and Ballinamoor Sean Hastings. Now, the four away teams will now be placed into the bag to be drawn in game order. Melvin Gales, Mohill, Fianna St Gallions, and Glencar Manor Hamilton. So I suppose just to point out to you before we draw the first ball here, as we'll say, for example, Ohwillan played Fianna St Gallions in round one, so they can't meet in round two, obviously. So where there's a repeat pairing pops up, it moves down into the next available slot. And so on as the game goes, as the thing goes on, we continue to fill the slots from the top down. So without any further ado, we'll find out Ohwillan's opponents for round two.
Melvin Gales.
Ohwillan versus Melvin Gales. Leitrim Gales. Leitrim Gales last week played Melvin Gales, so they're already gone out of the picture.
Mohill.
Leitrim Gales versus Mohill. So just slow there for a second. St Mary's Kiltarragh and Ballinamoor are left. Ballinamoor have already played Mohill, so they're already gone out of the picture. St Mary's Kiltarragh have already played Glencar Manor Hamilton.
So that means.
So by extension, that means that Ballinamoor Sean Hastings will have to play Glencar Manor Hamilton. Isn't that correct?
And St Mary's play Fianna.
And St Mary's will play Fianna. So Ballinamoor Sean Hastings will play Glencar Manor Hamilton, the only available opponent. Two of them remain in the draw, and St Mary's then will obviously play Fianna. And that more or less concludes the draw. But just pull them out anyway, just prove that they were in there, I suppose. These are just the vagaries of the repeat pairings. Glencar Manor Hamilton, Fianna St Gallions. So that concludes the draw for the round two of the Connacht Gold Senior Football Championship. CCC will be issuing the fixtures at a later time this evening. So the fixtures again are Ohwillan versus Melvin Gales, Leitrim Gales versus Mohill, St Mary's Kiltarragh versus Fianna St Gallions, and Ballinamoor Sean Hastings will be at home to Glencar Manor Hamilton. So Ramila Margaret good air. and John, Vincent, Colin, Brendan behind the scenes here. And we wish all the teams the very best of luck in round 2 of the Connacht Gold Senior Football Championship next weekend.